Today I want to do a short video on how do you replace rotted window sills on Anderson windows. This is a fairly common problem. If you feel the sill is hollow inside, rotted. And the problem is that these windows were never sealed on the edge, so it lets moisture and bugs get in. So, rest of the window's fine, sill is shot. So how do you fix that? I'll show you my solution over here. First, let me start off by showing you the sill I took out. That's what it looks like on the inside. So, how do you get to this point? Well, the first thing you have to do is take the window sashes out, and you put both window sashes down, and you take these screws out of the top. There are videos on YouTube how to do this, by the way. Then you push both the sashes up, and you take the rest of the screws out, and then you can pull this out at the bottom and slide it out from under the windows. Then you pull the windows down, front sash down, and you take the string out of the side of the window for the spring assist, and gradually put that back up to the top. And you do the same on the other side of the front sash, and then pull the top sash down, and take the strings out of that. Set the sashes aside. Then what you want to do is you have this jamb, and you can carefully pry out the long side of that jamb. There's no screws in there. And what you're left with is the two window jambs and the window sill, which I've taken out. The window sill, the way it's put in there, there's a mortise or a slot where the window sill fits in there and gets nailed from the back side on both sides. Same as on this side. Now in this particular window, even though there's a little water damage, the wood's in pretty good shape. So all I had to do here was cut out right at the top of that slot. On my other windows, it wasn't so lucky. They were pretty rotted. So I cut out that section. Used a oscillating saw to do that. And then I used 1x6 boards and used that piece as a template to make new sections. You need two slots in the front, and that accepts the little that accepts the side pieces, and one slot in the side which fits in the little piece on this. The way I put those back on, before I put them on, I drilled two pocket holes in here, and that will screw into the sash, that will screw into the new sill, screw into the new sill. And then I put shims behind this and put a screw, lined everything up, put a screw so that this was anchored to the the stud for the rough opening. And I did that on both sides. I also made a little block for here to support the window sill, and I'll show you that on the other window. To make a new sill, you'll want to measure from the outside of the window all the way to the outside of the window. If you look, this sash came to the outside of the window, but then it was cut in. We don't do that anymore where it was mortised in, because we're going to put this new window sill right underneath here. The other thing you have to do, if you look at the window sill, there's these two little depressions here, and they correspond to these two little depressions. So we're not going to have that on the new window sill. So what I used was a rasp, and using this as an angle guide, I just filed those down smooth so that the new sash will just come right through this way. And I'll show you that on the other windows. You have to do around the front and also inside. And you do that on both sides. Now let's go look at the window sill. I keep saying sash instead of sill. We're talking window sill here, folks. So what I used for window sill was PVC board. It's 3/4 inches thick and 7 1/4 inches wide. And here's one of the old window sills. And it's beveled because these window sills sit at a 15-degree angle. So I used the window sill to set the bevel on my table saw. And as you can see, I already beveled this side. So then, put the old sill in the saw, and that'll set the width up for me so I can run this board through to get the bevel on the other side. Now when you're cutting the PVC, what you want to do is push it through at a steady rate and push it all the way through the blade, and that will eliminate any saw marks and save you some sanding. So that's how I made the new window sill. Now let me go and show you what I did on one of the sills that's already been done. So here's one that's already done. I put a support block underneath, and I used a finishing screw to support the sill, so that gives the sill extra strength. Like I said, these pieces on the side replaced have pocket holes that screw in to hold the windowsill on both sides. When you're putting the windowsill in, I put the shorter side piece back in, the vinyl side piece, and then I set the sash in so that I could make sure the sash fit nicely on the bottom of the windowsill. And if it doesn't, you can kind of shim it. And if you look at this one, I had to shim down a little bit to get the sash, or the windowsill. I had to shim it down a little bit to get the sash closed nicely against the windowsill and leveled it out. So let's go to the outside. There's the finished window. So there's the sill, goes all the way out to the edge. Solid, it's PVC, it won't rot or rust. I painted the window sashes while they were out. The bevels, because this is a 15-degree angle, now I have a 90-degree bevel. Caulked everything, caulked around the edge to fit it. The other thing you have to do on the windowsill is cut a little slot there, so when the water runs down and the surface tension comes around, it'll drip off. Now the only other thing I have to do on these windows, because my new windowsill is thinner than the original, there is a little bit of a gap underneath here above the steel siding, and what I will do is get a piece of PVC trim. Haven't been out to the lumber yard yet. Cut a little piece of PVC trim, caulk that space, and glue that PVC trim right to the underside of the new windowsill. Glue it right to the underside. You can get clear PVC cement, just like if you ever dealt with CPVC pipe or PVC pipe. You put the cement on, you can buy clear cement. It's already clean, you can clean it off a little bit of alcohol if you want, and then just put the PVC molding, little glue on the molding, push it up against, and it will adhere and block up that space. Then it will insulate from the inside. So then as far as reversing the procedure, you put the long piece back in, the long piece of vinyl on the jamb, you put your sashes back in, and then you put the side piece back in, and you're done. So hope that helps. This board was $40 at Home Depot, and there's enough. My windows are 33.5. There's enough enough of a board to do 5 windowsills that size. So if you decide to tackle a project, it's not too bad. If you decide to hire a contractor, he can watch my video, and you can see I already did 2 windows on the garage. Painted the window sashes. So we're done. Next project is to spray the siding. Just as a side note, I use spray it and forget it in my sprayer, my garden sprayer, and that works really well. So hope you enjoy the video. Good luck if you decide to do this project.